Spartans, welcome back. It's your boy Leonidas back with another Guess the Brilliancy, episode number 6. In today's video, we look at Garry Kasparov's 3 games. Can you find the brilliant move? Got nothing else to report. Love you guys. Like, share, and subscribe. Hold the line until next time. Peace. Garry Kasparov has the white pieces. Viktor Korchnoi has the black. Guess below white's move to dominate and put mate on the board. You guys have 10 seconds while I apply this hand sanitizer, because all y'all's germs and sickness is starting to spread again, and we want to make sure we stay healthy but happy. And if you guessed the rook sacrifice, you guys are correct. Alright, the reason rook takes h7 is such a brilliant move is particularly nasty because there's 7 different M's on the board for white to find. Black can either take, which is what happens in the game, and you give a couple checks and it's mate and 5 on the board because you just move the king out of here and you get suffocated. Or if black decides to not take, they can slide here. White would give another brilliant move because if black takes, it is mate on 2 on the board because you give a check. This knight is pinned. The king has to go here and is mate on the board with a check by the rook. The other mate on the board is if black decides not to take this knight or this rook immediately and decides to run, it is too little too late because you give this check, the king slides over, you lose your queen, here comes the knight would jump back here to try to protect from potential mating opportunities here, but it's too late. The queen comes in, gives a check, slides over, knight jumps in, takes, rook slides over, rook here, a6, given some breathing room. It's just too little too late because you sack another rook because after this gets taken, it is mate on the board because you can give a check. King cannot go here, king cannot go here, and it is just too little too late. Alright, game number 2 is between Garry Kasparov again and Vasily Ivanchuk, who most recently just played Magnus Carlsen in the 2023 FIDE World Cup. Find the devastating move for white to continue with mate. Anything else does not have mate on the board. If you guys chose f6, congratulations, you got it correct. Black resigns after this because they saw what Garry saw 2 moves prior. They saw the crazy checkmate by the king getting pulled out of his castle. There's a coup going on. There's knights banging at the door. There's soldiers banging at the door trying to say, give me the king's head, because the knight jumps in, the knight takes, gives a check, the king has to slide over. Here comes the knight moving out of the way with a double check, which means the king has to move. You cannot block or take in a double check. The king slides out to this position because if you go back to the position where you just were, it's a pawn checkmate. But black doesn't do that. If this was the standard way of doing the best moves, black instead would move here and you just continue to give checks. You wouldn't want to go here because you can't, because the knight's blocking, so you're forced to get pulled out into the open. And after the pawn takes, the bishop would take, and after the pawn takes, the pawn promotes to a queen and it's a ladder mate. Alright, the final game is between Garry Kasparov and Dmitry Kayumov from Uzbekistan. Find the brilliant move. While you do that, I'm going to show you guys something that I bought. I'm an anime fan. Hunter x Hunter is one of my favorite animes at the moment. And I bought recently from, I don't know if you can really tell who it is. It's Hisoka. Yeah, it lights up. I can turn it off, turn it back on. I have an Itachi one here as well. But they're pretty cool. They lighted up the room pretty nicely when I turn off the lights when I'm streaming at night. But if you guys guessed rook takes c8, you guys are correct, because after you sacrifice the rook, the queen would take, and you have to find this check by the queen or else it will not work, because there is no other place for the king to go. The king is trapped by the knight and the queen, so you have to sacrifice your queen, and after you sacrifice your queen, it's game over. You just take, and it is mate on the board because there's nothing black can do. Black would try to close down the position, white would come in here and cut off this oxygen here, and it's just too little too late because after g6, because you don't even want to take the knight, because if you take the knight, it is now mate 3 on the board because there is only a pawn move here, blocks off this position here, suffocates the queen. The knight would try to jump in and defend, but after the knight jumps in to defend, it would just get taken and you are just screwed because your king would go here and then you just give a check here and it is game over. Spartans, I hope you guys enjoyed Guess the Brilliant Move episode number 6. I will see you guys next time. Hold the line until then. Peace.